Guys, so this video is going to be a review from Math 1, and you should have done this really before the lockdown, but just to remind you how to multiply polynomials, because this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow in class. So we just want to make sure that you have a good memory of what you're supposed to be doing. So when they tell you to find each product, remember that when you are multiplying a variable times itself, so like x times x, that is going to equal x squared. So you want to kind of draw on that. And then you also, if you're doing like 7x times 3x, you're going to multiply the coefficients. So 7 times 3 is 21. And then also multiply the variables. So x times x is x squared. So 7x times 3x would be 21x squared. And so we're going to draw on that throughout this process. So remember that when you are multiplying a monomial times a binomial, you are going to multiply the monomial to all of the terms in the parentheses or in the binomial. So we're going to do 6v times 2v, which is 12v squared, and then 6v times 3, which will be 18v. Since we have a v squared and a v, we can't combine those, so this is our final answer. When we have just a monomial times a binomial, and it's just a coefficient, there's no variable, we're going to do the same process. We're going to multiply 7 in, but our v's will stay the same. So 7 times negative 5v gives us a negative 35v, and 7 times negative 8 gives us negative 56. So again, we don't have any like terms, so that is our final answer. And you would just keep going like that and distributing. What changes is when we have a binomial times a binomial. So a two-termed polynomial times a two-termed polynomial. You can do this in one of two ways. The first way is that you can just double distribute. So you're going to distribute the 2n to the 6n and the 2n to the 1. So that will give us 12n squared plus 2n. And then we're going to do the 2 times the 6n and the 2 times the 1, which would then give us 12n plus 2. I've stacked them so that the like terms stack up together. We can then combine all of our like terms, so 12n squared plus 14n plus 2 is our final answer. So whenever we do a binomial times a binomial, the majority of the time we will come out with a trinomial. Now there are times that that will not hold true, but most of the time you'll come out with a trinomial. The other way is still the same process, but it's just a different way to write it, and that is to use a area box. And so we're going to kind of put our binomials along the sides, so 4n plus 1 and 2n plus 6. And then you're going to find the area of each section of our box. So this box is 4n by 2n, so that is 8n squared. And we're finding area, so we're multiplying. This box is 4n by 6, so it's 24n. This box is 2n by 1, so that will be 2n. And this box is 1 by 6, so it's just 6, and it is positive. You can then see that we have like terms here and here. So we can combine those to give us 8n squared plus 26n plus 6. If you notice, 4n will evenly go into both 8n squared and 24n, as will 1 to 2n and 6. You can also see that 2n goes into both 8n and 2n, and 6 goes into both 24n and 6. So that is just a fun little thing to see for there. when we do 7, you can choose whichever method you prefer, double distributing or box method. So I'm going to do 2 more in one in each method. So number 7, I will double distribute again. So we're going to start with x times 6x and x times negative 2. So x times 6x is 6x squared, and x times negative 2 is negative 2x. Then I'm going to do negative 3 times 6x and negative 3 times negative 2. So that will give me negative 18x plus 6. I will then combine my like terms. So 6x squared is all by itself. Negative 2x plus negative 18x is negative 20x. And nothing plus 6 is just 6. In number 8, I'm going to do a box again. So I make the box the size of my polynomials. And then I put them along the side. So 8p and negative 2, 6p and plus 2. It's important to make sure you get the signs in front of them so that when you multiply, you have the right signs. Then I'm going to do my first area. So 8p and 6p makes 48p squared. Then I'm going to do 8p by 2, which is 16p. Then I'm going to do negative 2 by 6p, which is negative 12p. And lastly, I will do 2 by negative 2, which is negative 4. Again, I see I have like terms here. So my final answer will be 48p squared plus 4p minus 4. Remember that you always want to combine your like terms, and those are the terms that have the same variable with the same exponent. So p squared and p are not like terms because they have a different exponent. So your practice for the rest of the day is going to be to finish this worksheet. There are some challenge problems down at the bottom, 19 through 23, where they're a little bit larger. And so those 19 through 23 will be extra credit. I do want to say one word about number 13. 4p minus 1 squared. Remember that you can't just distribute that square in. You want to think about it as this is a squared term. So that means you're doing 4p minus 1 times 4p minus 1. And then you're going to proceed like we have in the last problem, double distributing or using the box method. In order to receive credit for completing this work, you must show all of your work. That means I need to see you either double distribute or make a box. Box in your final answers, and then you will get before you can get credit. The answers will be attached at the end, so you can check your work as you go to make sure that you are doing them correctly. Make sure to watch your signs, and I will have office hours from 10 to 10:30. If you have any questions, you can come see me then or send me an email. Have a great rest of your day.